Have you ever stopped to think about what's really powering you? I'm not talking about your morning coffee or the lunch you had. I'm talking about the trillions, and I mean trillions, of microscopic engines that are humming away inside every single one of your cells right this second. Today, we're diving deep, right into the heart of that machinery, to explore the very building blocks of life itself.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the chemistry that drives everything, the cell's engine room. Then, we'll check out the cell's gatekeeper, the barrier that decides what gets in and what stays out. After that, we'll see exactly how things get in and out. And finally, we'll trace all of that energy back to its ultimate source. It's going to be quite a ride. Just look at this number for a second. It's almost impossible to even say. That is the estimated number of chemical reactions happening inside your body every single second. In the time it took me to say that sentence, that many reactions just fired off inside of you. It's an unbelievable symphony of chemistry, all happening on a scale that is just mind-boggling. So what's driving this incredible activity? What is the secret sauce behind this constant, relentless process we call life? Well, it all boils down to one key concept: metabolism. That's the chemical engine that powers everything. So let's pop the hood and see how this thing really works.
Okay, so before we talk about the engine, we need to know about the parts. Think of a cell as a ridiculously busy construction site. You've got your carbohydrates, those are your fuel, your energy source. You have proteins, which are like the workers and the machinery, building things, tearing things down, making it all happen. Then you've got lipids, fats, and oils, which are the actual building materials for walls and structures. And of course, you've got the blueprints, the nucleic acids, DNA and RNA telling everyone what to do. These four are the absolute essentials.
You see, metabolism isn't just one reaction. It's everything. It's the grand total of every single chemical process happening at once. It's this beautiful, organized chaos where molecules are built up and broken down in the blink of an eye. It's the ultimate balancing act, and honestly, without it, life just wouldn't exist.
And metabolism really has two main jobs. Think of it like a master sculptor. With one hand, it's always building things up, taking small, simple molecules and assembling them into big, complex structures. That's called anabolism. But with the other hand, it's constantly breaking things down, taking those large structures and dismantling them for parts or for energy, and that's catabolism. This cycle of building up and breaking down, that is the rhythm of life.
Now, all of this amazing chemistry needs a safe place to happen, right? You need a controlled environment, protected from all the chaos of the outside world. But how do you build a fortress that can also let in supplies and ship out waste? Well, that's where the absolutely brilliant design of the plasma membrane comes in. And here it is. Meet the cell's ultimate bouncer, the plasma membrane. Now, this isn't some solid brick wall. Oh no, it's way smarter than that. It's more like the velvet rope at the most exclusive club in the universe. It has a very strict guest list, and if your name's not on it, you are not getting in. So what's this bouncer's number one job? It's to maintain the perfect vibe inside the club. A perfect state of internal balance, called homeostasis. The temperature has to be just right. The pH has to be just right. Everything has to be perfect for that metabolic engine to run smoothly. If homeostasis is lost, the party's over. The whole system just collapses. Okay, so if this bouncer is so strict, how does the club even function? How do the VIPs, things like water, oxygen, and all the nutrients, get past that velvet rope? Well, it turns out the cell has a few secret passages and special tricks up its sleeve. So let's start with the most important guest of all, water. Life depends on it. Water is constantly moving in and out of the cell, but how does the cell make sure it has just the right amount? Because if it has too little, it shrivels up. Too much, and it could actually burst. It's an incredibly delicate dance. Now check this out. It's a perfect example. On the left, you've got a happy, healthy plant cell just chilling in some fresh water. It's full, it's rigid, but look what happens on the right when you put that same cell in salt water. It looks like a deflated balloon. All the water inside rushed out. So why did that happen? The secret is a process called osmosis, and it's all about finding balance. Imagine you have two rooms. One is packed with people and the other is empty. If you open the door between them, what happens? People will naturally spread out until both rooms are about equally full. Water does the exact same thing. It moves from an area where it's highly concentrated to an area where it's less concentrated, trying to even things out. That's osmosis. Okay, so water has its special way of getting through. But what about the other molecules? Well, some small ones, like oxygen, can just squeeze right through the membrane. That's called diffusion.
Others are a bit too big or have the wrong charge, so they need an escort, a special protein channel to help them through. That's facilitated diffusion. And then there are the ones that have to be forced through, which we call active transport.
You see, most things in nature like to flow downhill, from a high concentration to a low one. It's easy, it doesn't take any energy. But sometimes a cell desperately needs something that's already rare on the outside. It has to pull it in against the current. That's like trying to push a boulder uphill. And that's where active transport comes in. The cell has to spend energy in the form of a molecule called ATP to literally grab what it needs and drag it inside.
So we've been talking a lot about energy, about ATP, and how the cell spends it. But that brings up a pretty big question. Where does all this energy come from in the first place? If you trace it all the way back, for almost all life on Earth, it comes from one single incredible source, the sun. And the key to unlocking the sun's power is the humble plant. Inside plant cells, you'll find these tiny green engines called chloroplasts. These little guys are basically solar-powered factories. They are the alchemists of the natural world, capable of turning pure sunlight into physical matter. And the magical process they perform is called photosynthesis.
Think of it like a factory running two shifts. During the day shift, the light phase, the workers capture sunlight. They use that energy to split water molecules and charge up the factory's batteries, making ATP. Then, the night shift, or dark phase, kicks in. It doesn't need light, it just uses the power from those charged batteries to take carbon dioxide from the air and build the final product, a simple sugar called glucose.
And what's so amazing is that from this one simple sugar molecule, a whole universe of life can be built. Plants use that glucose as a raw material to make everything else they need. Starch for energy storage, proteins for structure, fats, vitamins, you name it. And that right there is the foundation of pretty much every food chain on the planet.
You know, understanding all this isn't just a science lesson. It's like we're learning to read the source code of life itself, a language written in molecules and energy. And as we get better at reading it, we're actually starting to write our own sentences. Scientists have already created artificial bacteria from scratch. That's just the first page in a whole new chapter of what it means to be alive.
So, we've journeyed deep into the cell. We've seen the engine of life turning sunlight into a living, breathing world. And that leaves us with one final, pretty mind-bending question. Now that we know the recipe, do we still need the sun? Could we replicate that process ourselves, using our own technology like an LED light? The answer to that, well, that could change absolutely everything.